What's up everyone, it's Tyler from Parallax Gaming here with another video. Today we're kicking off our patch 8.1 guide series with the Guardian Druid. Guardian Druid has been in a bit of a weird spot, however still being fairly strong in rating, but being very weak in Mythic Plus. In patch 8.1, however, the Guardian Druid is taking some slight buffs, which might help them push ahead in the Mythic Plus scene, as well as solidify their spot in the rating scene. If you guys have any questions or concerns throughout the guide, don't hesitate to go ahead and drop into the comments below, ask away down there, or the best spot for asking questions is in our Discord. Go ahead and jump in there and ask me a couple questions. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get straight into the guide. Talents in 8.1 for Guardian Druid. In the low 15 category, you really only have two choices between Brambles and Bristling Fur. Brambles have been using this entire expansion because I really haven't been pushing high-end Mythic rating content or super high-end Mythic Plus, so I really haven't had situations that I really need that extra survivability that Bristling Fur gives you. Bramble Brambles just really creates a class that's as simplistic as possible, pretty much. Brambles protects you for 454 damage from each attack, can reflect it or absorb it. And while Bark Skin is active, it acts as a little bit of a damage CD, 251 nature damage to all nearby enemies. Bristling Fur acts as a damage reduction CD. It's really great. I've used it a couple times, but really haven't used it much this expansion, like I said. Generate rage based on damage you take for 8 seconds. If you're in a fight that you take a lot of burst damage within whatever period, go ahead and take this. It's a great CD. You can put out a lot of Iron Furs in that situation. In the level 30 category, we received a bit of a change in 8.1. We now have Ursul's Vortex. Um, Ursul's Vortex is going to be a little bit of an interesting thing to choose in Mythic Plus or in a lot of ad fights. You can use Ursul's Vortex. Um, Good for grouping up ads, good for slowing ads if you're needing to kite stuff. But in this situation, I've been using a lot of Wild Charge this entire expansion as well. Using this in Mythic Plus, great another charge to use, as well as in raiding another charge I can just use to get to places quicker. And Tiger's Dash, I really haven't used this at all throughout the expansion. I don't think it's really as good as a utility as Wild Charge is, just because how uh, insane the fall off time is for the 200% speed, plus you need to activate cat form for it. So in raiding in Mythic Plus, you can get really smacked when you're in cat form, so not too useful. In the 45 category, it's a little bit of an open category, but I've been using Balance Affinity this entire expansion. Haven't needed the extra healing for Restoration Affinity and survivability in this. Haven't been doing any cat weaving for Feral Affinity. Uh, so if you guys are into cat weaving, go ahead and go with Feral Affinity. If you guys need that extra survivability, use Restoration Affinity. Bounce Affinity, really just an amazing talent that I've been using this entire time. It's great for using your Moonfire, extra 3-yard range, extra 3-yard range on your Thrash, extra 3-yard range on everything. So move into our 60 category. We have two choices really. Typhoon and Mighty Bash, both of these are just, again, part of your utility kit. Typhoon I've been using a lot in Mythic Plus. I just like the control it gives you. You get to move packs a lot. Gets you large AoE interrupts pretty much. And Mighty Bash, also really good in Mythic Plus. Uh, you can stun the target for 5 seconds. So, again, very situational, both of these. Just choose whichever your situation calls for. And let's go ahead and move into 75. 75, two choices again, Soul of the Forest and Galactic Guardian. I've been using Galactic Guardian this entire expansion. Uh, you have a 5% chance to trigger Moonfire, and your Moonfire now generates 8 rage and deals 300% increased direct damage. Uh, Not as powerful it was in Legion. I've really felt that throughout this expansion, but still a very good talent. Soul of the Forest is also very viable. Mango generates 5 more rage and deals 25% more damage. In pure single target fights, Soul of the Forest actually pulls a little bit ahead of Galactic Guardian, but in AoE fights, Galactic Guardian is definitely the one to choose. Let's go ahead and move into our 90 category. 90 category, again, really only one-sided here. I've been using Guardian of Elune this entire expansion. Mango increase duration of your next Iron Fur by 2 seconds, or the healing of your next Frenzy regen by 20%. The increased healing is insane for Frenzied Regen, especially since you have just 2 charges of Frenzied Regen this expansion. Survival of the fittest. I said this in my last video. I want to hear your guys' concerns about this survival of the fittest, which fights you've actually been using this on. I know it's very useful in a lot of fights that you take an insane amount of damage. So let me know what you guys have used it on. I have not used this at all this expansion, so just let me know. Into our 100 category, we're gonna be going with Ren and Tear and Pulverize. I've been using Ren and Tear this entire expansion as well. Like I said, haven't been pushing any super high-end content, so I've been just using the passive, using it as a simple way. But Pulverize, if you guys are pushing content, go ahead and use this. This is overall the best talent in this category. You get to have that extra damage reduction besides Rend and Tear, which is pretty much the passive form of Pulverize. Just makes the class easier, but you do take a little bit more damage with Rend and Tear. So that is up to you guys on what you're using. Anyways, let's end in towns. Again, like I said, let me know on Survival of the Fittest what you guys use it on. Let's go ahead and move on. The basic survivability stat priority for Guardian Druids goes number 1, agility, 2, mastery, 3, versatility, 4th, haste, and 5th, crit. Agility is the best stat you can have. It increases your attack power, gives you a small amount of dodge, and also converts into armor due to Iron Fur. Iron Fur is scaled off of your agility, so the more agility you have, the more armor that Iron Fur will give you. Mastery and versatility are both fairly simple stats. Mastery increases your max health and healing received. Versatility reduces damage you take, increases the damage and healing you do, and increases the size of your absorbs. Critical strike being last doesn't really do too much for the Guardian Druid. It's a good for increasing your damage. However, after that, defensively doesn't do much. It increases your dodge slightly, but due to diminishing returns, it is affected very harshly by that. So our rotation for 8.1 as Guardian Druids is really simple and hasn't changed at all since 8.0.1. So let's get into it. First off, you want to keep Moonfire at all times ticking on the target. We're going to want to keep our Mangle on CD, our Thrash on CD, and to fill, we're going to be using our Swipe. So just keep that in mind. Our filler is Swipe. At all times, we're going to be having Mangle and Thrash on CD. We'll be using our Moonfire whenever it procs if we're running our Galactic Guardian proc. And we'll also be using Mangle whenever it procs. So a little tip for you guys. Um, you'll always want to use Mangle before you use Thrash. The reason is because you can use Thrash and Thrash can proc your Mangle again. Um, so that is just a little bit of a tip. Also, I try to use my Moonfire before I use Thrash if it's procced, because just then again you can also use um, your Thrash to proc your Moonfire again. So really guys, it's just a priority of things to keep in mind to get the maximum amount of procs you can throughout an entire fight. Failing with Swipe, I do not use Maul pretty much at all, just because I can use the extra Iron Fur, or I can use that Rage to have a Frenzied Regen. So if you don't need a Frenzied Regen, you don't need an Iron Fur, you can also use Maul to dump Rage. Um, but that is about it for our basic rotation. Let's go ahead and move into our CDs and our active mitigation. Alright guys, active mitigation and CDs. First off, our active mitigation is Iron Fur along with our self-healing of Frenzied Regen. Iron Fur, increase your armor by based off your agility actually. For me it's 4051 and it's for 7 seconds and it can overlap, so I'm going to stack as many times as you can get it up to. Frenzied Regen heals you for 24% of your maximum health over 3 seconds, and this is affected by the talent Guardian of Elune, which can increase that healing done up to 20% more, so 44% of your max health over 3 seconds. Again, this also affects your Iron Fur, and can increase the duration of your next Iron Fur by 2 seconds, so from 7 seconds up to 9 seconds, a big deal. Iron Fur costs 45 rage, and Frenzied Regen costs 10 rage. Our CDs are Bark Skin. Bark Skin is a really great CD. I love this CD. Um, you take 20% less damage, and it lasts for 12 seconds. A very, very long CD, 12-second CD. And Survival Instincts, again, a fairly large CD for the amount of damage reduction it deals. 50% less damage for 6 seconds. You have 2 charges and it's on a 4-minute recharge. I wanted to go ahead and take bristling for just for showing you guys the CD again. 40-second CD for you guys. Um, used in conjunction with your Iron Fur, really great, insane CD here, guys. You can get your Iron Fur stacking up to an insane amount of stacks, as well as Stampeding Roar, guys. I wanted to mention this that in 8.1, this did receive a change, a huge buff, down from 2 minutes to 1 minute CD. We were really lacking in the movement and our utility for movement. So this has helped a lot. It doesn't feel as clunky as it did before. So this is a great CD as well to be using a lot. And that is the end of our guide, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you guys didn't like the video, go ahead and leave a dislike. Let me know in the comments why you liked the video, why you disliked the video. Again, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Discord is the best place to ask me questions. Go ahead and hop in our Discord. We have that in the description. Again, I'm live on Twitch all the time, so if you guys want to go ahead and drop in there, ask me a couple questions, say hi, say what's up, I'll definitely get right back to you there. I have all of our social media links in the description below. We have our Twitter in there. We have our Instagram on there. We post on those all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.